everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. Today's video I'm going to be doing a full face of new products. I love doing these. I think it's a really fun way to try things. A lot of brands I already love in there, so should be good. I'm going to do quite like a glam, kind of smoky, glittery sort of vibe, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to be working with Farfetch on today's video. If you don't know already, Farfetch are an amazing high-end online brand who have just launched a beauty section on their website, which is really exciting. So loads of amazing, beautiful brands on there. So I'm going to be trying some of those today. So everything from here is available on Farfetch Beauty now. I will leave a link in the description. Very exciting. Farfetch are one of my favourite like high-end online brands, so this is really exciting for me to be working with them. So yeah, thank you so much to Farfetch for working with me, and let's do some makeup. So first I'm going to do, get my fringe out of the way. I had like a little fringy bit kind of cut back in. I really like it, but it kind of does get in the way a bit. Hair is out the way, I'm going to zoom you in and get started on my skin. So first product that I'm going to use, I'm like the most excited about this. When this turned up I was like, this is by La Mer, and this is the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation. I've got the shade 230. Like La Mer is like the peak of like high-end quality, just beautiful products. So I'm like so excited to use this. So I haven't actually used it at all. Like I swatched it a little bit, it seemed really nice, but I thought I'd do like a full first impressions. So I'm going to squeeze some of it out on the back of my hand, and then just taking a flat foundation brush, I'm just going to start buffing it in. So far very nice. Super glowy, feels really lightweight. Nice amount of coverage, not like super heavy, but also not really sheer. Ooh, okay. Get on board with that for sure. I'm just going to do quite a thin layer of it. I'm quite into like a sheerer base at the moment. Definitely feel like this is quite buildable. It doesn't feel like sticky or really feel like I've got anything heavy on my face. I think you could layer it up without it feeling too heavy. That's really nice. Did not disappoint at all. Okay, so just got one really sheer layer of it on. It's kind of just evened everything out, added a bit of glow to my skin, but you can still see like my freckles through it, and it still feels really lightweight. So I really like that. So far, so good. So I'm going to conceal underneath my eyes and down the centre of my face using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer. This is the shade 4 Fair. One of these little spongy things on the end, and then you just twist the bottom to get the product out. Go straight in with the applicator. Sometimes I like to get the product off here first and then like use a brush or something, but I'm going to try it like this first. So just like applying it roughly where I want it. And I'm just gonna kind of let that dry a little bit. I keep seeing people do this, and it actually does make a massive difference to like the coverage that you get. So if you just kind of let it go like a bit tacky for a sec, and then just gonna take a sponge and start blending that in. Normally leave right underneath my eyes till last to blend. It gives it a little bit longer to kind of set in place, and also by then I feel like you've got quite a bit of product on the sponge or brush, so you kind of get the most coverage there. And then just taking whatever's left on there over my eyelids, because we're going to be doing a eyeshadow look. To be fair, yet to be let down by Charlotte Tilbury. She's a very safe pair of hands, isn't she? Kind of just want her to like be my mum. I do really like my mum, but I do also really like Charlotte Tilbury. I think she'd look after me nicely. Cool, so that's just one really thin layer of it. I'm going to add a little bit more just right here, just where I want it to be a little bit brighter. I feel like it looks nice right now, but once I've got eye makeup on I feel like sometimes I need a little bit more, so preempting that. Nice, they work really nicely together, those two as well actually. Really glowy, brightened everything up. Cannot complain thus far. I'm going to set that in place with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. This is the shade 1 Fair. I've already got through one of these before. I know this is really good, so I'm just going to set everything in place. I really set like underneath my eyes or anywhere that I feel like I really need it. It's very hot in here today, so I feel like I'm just going to set a little bit more so my face doesn't slide away. I love this powder. This is one of the only ones that I've ever really gotten into. There we go. So set in place, we're not going to move anywhere, but I've still got a nice glow coming through. Add some warmth back into my face with bronzer. This is another Charlotte Tilbury product. This is the Airbrush Bronzer. This is a shade 3 Tan. Look at the size of this. Like, my head is fairly small, but this is big. Bronzer pan, big mirror as well. Oh, you can see I have no trousers on. I've just outed myself. It's very warm. Okay. I'm just going to use a fluffy angled brush and I'm just going to start bronzing up my skin. I haven't used this before, so I'm not going to go too ham till I know how pigmented it is. Okay, nice. Go for a more kind of blown out bronzy look. I don't really do a really structured contour. I'm more of a sort of blown out all over bronze. I like a very kind of sun-kissed look. Just focusing it kind of around my temples and the tops of my cheekbones, and then just really lightly, whatever's left, kind of bringing it down over my cheeks. And I'm just going to define my cheekbone a little bit more. I'm going to dust a little bit across my nose. Really contour my nose as such. I kind of just like to give it that sort of sun-kissed, almost kind of like you've caught the sun on your nose. I kind of like that look. Just going to add some colour into my cheeks. I've got the most beautiful blush in the whole world here. So this is by Tom Ford, and this is the Shade and Illuminate blush. The shade 02, and it's just this beautiful, really peachy duo. Very into a peachy blush, obviously, perfect for summer. So yeah, I'm going to use the slightly deeper one here on the right. I'm going to pop that quite high up on my cheekbones. Ooh, that's beautiful. A little bit more of like a natural kind of muted sort of peach rather than super orange, which is really nice. Again, just going to run a little bit across my nose. Oh, these are all working really nicely together. My skin looks really fresh, very glowy and summery. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. We love to see it. I'll go over my freckles again. You can actually still see them quite a bit, but I like to just define them a little bit more and maybe add a few more in, just for a really summery look. Anyway, skin is all done. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. Really love all those products. They work really nicely together. Zoom in and get going on my eyes. Moving on to eyes, I've got the most beautiful little palette from Viseart. This is a brand again that I've seen a lot of, but actually never tried anything. I really like the size of this. It's like really cute, really easy to take away with you, and then you just pull it open. It's really beautiful. I love these kind of like deep, slightly grungier tones. I'm really, really into this, so I think I'm going to do something with that today. I like the contrast of that and really glowy, kind of fresh skin. I think I'm going to keep it fairly simple and maybe just stick to that. Maybe a bit of the matte dark grey, but I really like this purple as well. I want to do something with that, but I feel like I did a purple kind of recently. Brain vomiting on you right now, but yeah, I think we're going to go for that one. I don't think they have individual shades. I'm just going to pat out any creasing across my eyelids. Good, because it'll make my eyelids a bit stickier as well. And then just taking that shade, I'm going to start. Ooh. Oh yeah, I love that. Gorgeous. Okay. So beautiful. When you put it on, it's actually got this really like kind of bluey, like gunmetal tone. Oh, yeah, boy, that is it. Very glittery as well. Sometimes you kind of lose the glitter as soon as you put something on. Yes, love that, love that. Okay, and then I'm going to take I'm going to take a fluffy brush, but a kind of denser fluffy one. Just taking a little bit of it, and I'm going to kind of lightly buff the edges. Best to use your finger to get the bulk of it on. It kind of keeps the pigment and the glitter really intense. And then I like to just take a brush and kind of, oh, do you know what I'm going to do actually? Today I'm going to do a little, what is that? Do a little wing situation. I'm going to run it underneath the bottom as well. I'm really liking this, so I think it should be everywhere. And then just taking a kind of flatter brush. Always heard really good things about this brand and the palettes in particular, so it's nice to actually try them out. And just taking my sponge, I'm going to kind of sharpen that. Oh, that's so nice. I love this a lot. And I'm not going to go the whole way, am I? Yeah. Okay. Kind of lightly buff it. I'm not going to put so much towards the inner corner, but just a little bit. There we go. I love that. The close up. That is so beautiful. It's such a really nice, like gunmetal-y, kind of bluey. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side, and then I'm going to define it a little bit with a bit of black. I just think like grungy eye makeup and really glowy skin is the best combination in the world. I think it just always looks so good. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this palette. I love things like this where I can just kind of chuck on one colour. I know it's going to look really great. Actually really easy to blend as well, and I'm not losing the glitter in it. Sometimes when you blend like glittery shadows, you kind of just get left with the cast that's underneath and it can go a bit muddy. But this is actually blending really nicely. The Kohl eye pencil from RMS Beauty. This is the black end. You've got a pencil, and then the other end you've got a little smudger, which I actually find those really helpful. I know a lot of people are like, meh, I never use them, but I actually do really like them. So I'm going to just do a really thin line along my lash line, ready to create a liner, but I just feel like sometimes you lose that definition a little bit. And that really tight to my lashes. And then I'm going to actually line in my waterline with this as well, just to make it super dramatic. Like doing that just brings everything together. Whenever I don't do it, it always looks a little bit unfinished, but it just defines everything. I'm just going to curl my lashes and pop some mascara on. Taking the Charlotte Tilbury Push Up Lashes Mascara, a really nice little skinny brush with these little teeth, so it grabs all your lashes really nicely. So I'm just going to coat my top lashes with that. And I'm actually going to apply more mascara to the outer corner just to give that kind of cat eye look. Make sure the front ones are coated just so they're black, and then focus the majority of it on the outer corner. Lifts all your lashes up. I think, yeah, the little teeth really help kind of grab them all. Like a long kind of separated lash look. I'm going to pop a tiny little bit on the bottom lashes. Okay, eyes are all done. I love this look. I think it's just really simple, really easy to do, dramatic and grungy, so I love it. I'm just going to do my lips and then we're done. So I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. This is like one of the best nudes ever. And I'm just going to line my lips with that. I'm going to colour my lips in with this because I really love the colour. I realised I didn't put any highlighter on. Weirdly kind of like it. I mean, it's still really glowy. I think that foundation was really, really glowy and it's still coming through. I kind of like it. It's a little bit more like 90s in a way. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I actually really like that. Take my hair out. And there we go. That is the finished look. I'm going to show you up close so you can see everything all together. Okay, that is the finished look for today's video. I am obsessed with how this turned out. It's always really fun to try new products, but sometimes it can kind of take a little while to figure out what works best with different products and like combinations. So it's always really nice when everything kind of just works out together. Yeah, I think that was a very successful first impressions. I think there's a lot of products in there that I'll probably end up using every day. So thank you to Farfetch Beauty for working with me on today's video. I am absolutely in love with all those products. They've obviously handpicked like the best of the best, which is really exciting. So I will leave a link to Farfetch Beauty. I've also got a code for you to use, so I'll leave that down there as well. Thank you so much for watching this video and thank you for being here as always. And hope you have a lovely rest of the day wherever you are, and I will see you all very soon. Love you.